Good morning, beloveds. I have kind of a ray of light coming in from the sun. Yeah. Well, hazards of home streaming, right? Uh, it is August 7th, I'm pretty sure, and it is Friday. So, we are in the month of vitality, which I think is a good month to be in. And our title today is The Law of Good Brings Me Satisfaction. Alright. And immediately I have the Rolling Stones in my head. So, Rolling Stones can't get no satisfaction, but the law of good will bring us satisfaction. So, yeah, I'm a little bit of a music... Actually, I'm a lot of a music nerd. I love music. So, the law of good brings me satisfaction. There is a power operating through, a presence inspiring, an intelligence guiding, and a law of good sustaining you. Upon this presence, this power, and this law, you may place complete reliance. Because you live in this divine presence, and because it is in you, you may know that the creative law of good, which is infinite, and which has all power, can do for you or bring to you anything and everything necessary to your complete happiness. Its whole desire for you is one of freedom and joy. Say, I know that freedom and joy are mine today. This freedom and joy spontaneously express themselves in my experience. There is nothing in me that can obstruct their passage. I permit them to flow through me in all their wonder and might. I am conscious of an infinite wisdom directing me. Whatever I ought to know, I do know. Whatever I ought to do, I shall do. Whatever belongs to me comes easily to me. My every thought and decision are molded by intelligence and expressed through law and order in my experience. I not only think upon and realize the meaning of this truth, I am impelled to act upon it intelligently, creatively, without confusion, doubt, or hesitation. With joy, I enter into the fulfillment of life. Wow, he's not pulling any punches in this month. All right. So he starts off by saying there is a power operating through, a presence inspiring, and an intelligence guiding, and a law of good sustaining you. So there is a power operating through you. There is a presence inspiring you. There is an intelligence guiding you, and a law of good sustaining you. Upon this presence, this power, and this law, you may place complete reliance. How many of us are willing to do that? How many of us are willing to completely rely on this power? Now, and I say that doesn't mean that we do our treatments and then sit on our couch. It does mean that we do our treatments and then we get out and do the work. But knowing that the work that we are doing is guided by, inspired by, sustained by, to use his word, this law, this good, this divine presence. So we can't sit and wait for things to come to us. We get to go out and get them. And when we go out and get them, we know we are guided by this power. All right. Because you live in this divine presence, and because it is in you, you may know that the creative law of good, which is infinite and which has all power, can do for you or bring to you anything and everything necessary for your complete happiness. Okay, so he's saying right there, anything and everything you need to be happy, this law will bring to you. It will bring it into your experience with your cooperation. One of the mistakes that we make when we do this is that we have this tendency to get fixated on this one thing. This one thing will make me happy, whatever it is. I want to lose 20 pounds, and I'm not going to be happy until I lose 20 pounds. Okay? And so I get so fixated on that 20 pounds that I miss all the other stuff around me that makes me happy. I follow David Bruner from one of the California CSLs, and I apologize for not knowing exactly which one. And today he posted a question: what makes you smile? So if I'm so focused on that 20 pounds that I've got to lose to be happy, I'm missing the one thing that I answered, which is my cats, because you've seen it. You see, they'll pop in here and I've got this silly grin on my face. That anytime you see that silly grin, it's generally related to a cat. So if I'm so focused on that, then I'm not seeing all the other things that make me happy. So the law can bring you everything that you need to be happy. Don't get fixated on one thing. Please don't get fixated on that one thing. And don't try and tell the law it has to be exactly this. We don't get to say the how. We just get to say the what. This is what makes me happy, but I don't get to pick exactly the way it shows up. That is the joy and excitement of life, but that's also the most terrifying thing about life. It's like, this will make me happy. How it gets to me, I gotta release that and let it come the way it does. Be general, not too specific, but be specific enough that you get what you want. Just not too specific that you narrow it down to the one thing, because you're going to miss everything else. All right. Its whole desire for you is one of freedom and joy, because that's what makes things go forward. Freedom and joy. Freedom and joy. It wants freedom and joy for you. It wants freedom and joy for everybody. We just get in each other's way. We get in each other's way. We get in our own way. We just got to learn to get out of Spirit's way and get out of our own way and do the work put before us. I know work can be a trigger word, but it's not work if you enjoy it. Okay, so now he's moving into his treatment. Say, I know that freedom and joy are mine today. Ooh, repeat that to yourself every morning when you get up. I know that freedom and joy are mine today. This freedom and joy spontaneously express themselves in my experience. Spontaneously express themselves in my experience. That means that they pop up unexpectedly. That I don't have to have my routine, my schedule lined out in just, that's not freedom. I can get a little rut-like though. I mean, like I'm in a schedule and so yeah, that's a good reminder for me. There is nothing in me that can obstruct their passage. There is nothing. We frequently, like I said, we get in our own way. That sentence right there. There is nothing in me that can obstruct their passage. That's something I can do to help not get so stuck. I permit them to flow through me in all their wonder and might. I am conscious of an infinite wisdom directing me. I am conscious. I know it's there. I feel it. I consciously open myself up to this infinite wisdom instead of just passively letting it come in. I consciously open up to it. Ernest is a big believer in consciousness. Whatever I ought to know, I do know. Whatever I ought to do, I shall do. Whatever belongs to me comes easily to me. That old saying of, if you love something, let it go, and if it returns to you, it was truly yours. Kind of the same thing here. Whatever belongs to me comes easily to me. If I'm having to struggle and fight for something, it may not be for me. I could be a stepping stone on its way to something, to someone who it really belongs to. Yeah, speak to me as a foster. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Because these kittens come into my life and I love them and I fall in love with them and I love on them, and then I turn them over to their forever homes. I was just a stepping stone. Yet all of the little monsters running around in my house, those belong to me. So whatever belongs to me comes easily to me. If it's a struggle, maybe let go and see if there's something else trying to come to you, that you're fighting so hard to hold on to this, you're not seeing what's coming to you. I know, it's hard. My every thought and decision is molded by intelligence and expressed through law. And, let me try that sentence again. My every thought and decision is molded by intelligence and expressed through law and order in my experience. Molded by intelligence and expressed through the law and order. I not only think upon and realize the meaning of this truth, I am impelled to act upon it intelligently, creatively. So I'm acting intelligently and creatively, without confusion, doubt, or hesitation. With joy, I enter into the fulfillment of life. So, our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to know joy and freedom are ours today. And that we will let nothing obstruct their passage through us. It's not a small mission today, but it never is. Oh, we are meant to live grand and glorious lives. Grand and glorious lives. All right, so, as always, I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Open the windows of your soul, get that fresh breath of heaven, and do something that activates your mind and your body today. Whatever that looks like for you. Whatever it takes to make it a fantastic and wonderful day. To recognize the joy and the freedom that are yours. All right. And let's start by knowing that we are beloved children of God, in whom Spirit is well pleased. And knowing that Reverend David will be on with you around 5 today. I will be back with you around 9 tomorrow, because it is Saturday and I get to go to the park and play with the squirrels. It was raining last week, so I didn't get to go. So I'm kind of extra excited about it this week. Although I hope it cools down just a bit, because oh my God, the walk this morning was stiflingly hot. There was no air. It was no wind, no breeze, nothing. I came home with a sweat stain about halfway down my chest just from walking. I wasn't even running, I was just walking. So, have a wonderful day, beloveds. All right? And I will talk to you tomorrow.